would you rather?
Halloween edition.
Today we are asking our question to Brant Bumpers, actor extraordinaire and generally charming fellow. Last time I saw Brant, we saw Joker opening night at the theaters, and then after the movie, we discussed what makes a good antagonist. Generally, that bad guys should be multi-dimensional and they should be humanized. We had a conversation at pretty great lengths about that subject. So today, we are going to test his empathy for the bad guy with our Would You Rather question. So here we go. Number 3 for the week. Brant, do you cure John Kramer from his inoperable tumor caused by colon cancer? Or would you rather spare Fred Krueger from being burned alive? This is a good one. This is a tough one. Either way, you're saving a monster. But what do you choose? How do you go about answering this question? So, as you know, Brant, John Kramer is the lead antagonist from the Saw series, also called Jigsaw. What this guy likes to do is capture a bunch of innocent people and then put them in these extremely volatile and dangerous situations. He puts like 8 people into a room and 7 of them die and like 1 usually lives by the end. I think that's how the series go. But the guy's a monster, right? But he's got an ethos, and his ethos is, since he's contracted this life-threatening disease, it opened his eyes that everyone around him in society was kind of shuffling their feet through life. They weren't actually living. So he wanted to test this human spirit and see if they have the will to live. And if they did, that they would come out the other side with more life in them. So you could cure John Kramer, which means that he could then go on to continue to do this even longer. Or if he was cured, would he stop doing this? I don't know. You have to let me know what you think, what your thought process is behind this. So Brant, would you cure John Kramer, or would you rather spare Freddy Krueger from being burned alive? So this monster was burned alive by his fellow villagers because he was terrorizing the children. So if we spare Fred Krueger from being killed, does that mean that he would go on to terrorize the children of the town even more? But then that also means that we're sparing the victims of the monster Freddy Krueger from after he was killed. So you see, we're in a dilemma here. We win some on both sides and we lose some on both sides. So Brant, what's it gonna be? Do you cure John Kramer, or do you spare Fred Krueger?
Thank you, Chris. That's a very compelling question. And here's my answer. I would spare Kramer the tumor, and here's why. He would possibly go on to do some very interesting things, such as potentially a motivational speaker, some type of weird life coach, just something really interesting, and you can go a lot of places with it. He might have continued to be horrible. He might have continued to actually do some twisted things and set up those awful stratagems, but at least he always had a slightly twisted, altruistic look on things. He would try to help you make a decision to value and live your life, to actually value it. Now, Freddy Krueger was always destined to be a monster. He was always destined to be a ghost, and he would have had a wave of Elm Street kids no matter what. That's what I think. So I wouldn't have spared him his demise or his entryway into being a ghost. My question to you involves actual villains. It involves serial killers. Serial killers. For instance, John Wayne Gacy, he killed a lot of people, and he would bury them in his basement. They would end up in his basement. As a matter of fact, so many of them, almost 50, 60, that's what got him caught. The fact that residential homes aren't meant to store 60 dead bodies and not have a funny smell or some other telltale sign. And then you have Edward Gein. Ed Gein was the inspiration for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for Psycho, and for The Silence of the Lambs. He was also very trusted in his community before, of course, the jig was up and they found out what he was doing. One of the things that he would do for odd jobs is he would babysit some of the townspeople's kids. Of course, he would do it at their place. My question to you is, what would you rather do? You have to do one. That's how this works. Would you rather help John Wayne Gacy move furniture in his basement, as in he asked you to meet him at his place and go down to his basement to help him move some furniture. Don't know if that's what he really is doing, but that's what he's asking. Or would you rather let Ed Gein babysit your kids? So, famous murderer that would dispose of bodies in the basement, he's asking you to go into that same place to help move furniture, or let a notorious cannibal / grave robber / serial killer and arts and crafts expert watch your kids unattended. That's pretty much what I have to think about, and I'm very curious as to what you say. Thank you again, Chris. Happy Halloween. Serial killers.
I see what you did there, friend. That's a genuinely good would you rather question, and also hilarious. At first I thought it was a no-brainer, because I'm like, there's no way I'm leaving my kids with the serial killer. That's just completely out of the question, right? You're not leaving your kids with the serial killer. But then I was thinking, upon further reflection, I realized, going down into the basement, that guy's definitely gonna try to kill you, for sure. No way his story is lining up on any levels, right? And although the other guy's a serial killer, he's probably not going to kill your kids. I would think that as a seasoned, successful serial killer, you're not going to murder the kids that you're babysitting. But yeah, it still doesn't make sense to send your kids off with the serial killer, so I can't really choose that option. Huh. I guess I'm going down into the basement. Guess I'll die. I'll bring some nunchucks or something. Maybe I can defend myself. Thanks, Bright Man. That was hilarious. Great question. You're the man. What do you guys think? Are you gonna go help the serial killer move some furniture, or would you rather let the guy that makes lampshades out of people, watch your kids? It's a good one. So guys, thanks for watching this episode today, and I'd love to hear your Halloween-themed Would You Rather question down in the comments. If you don't have a Would You Rather now, think about it, because I'm going to keep bugging you. I'm coming after you. See you tomorrow. Would